Hello everyone, welcome to this week's episode on Laid Back the Atrezinga podcast. And our topic for this week is sports entrepreneurship. And our guest for this week is Dr. Osondu Umeobi, who is a project manager for Onitsha City Marathon in Nigeria. Hello Dr. Osondu, welcome to the podcast.
Hello viewers, I'm very pleased to be part of this show, and I believe by the end of this show we are going to extract value both ways from you guys and from me.
Definitely. Definitely. So, but is this your very first podcast, or have you done a podcast before?
This is my first podcast, but in Nigeria, what we've been doing is maybe radio programs.
Yeah. But do you have any expectation for this show today?
My expectation is just to add value to the viewers in terms of knowledge and to change the perception of sportspreneurship.
Yeah.
When we talk about sports, people just believe it's just something you do pastime.
Yeah, and just
in Africa.
Yeah.
But it's a huge, massive industry.
I agree with you.
When tapped,
Yeah.
Part of those economic expectations, it will open up a lot of things, especially in countries that have not really fully understood the potentials, the massiveness. So I think that should be it.
I agree with that. But let's start off with let's talk about the Onitsha City Marathon first of all. What is it all about?
Yeah, Onitsha City Marathon is just an initiative by the Onitsha Business School. It's just a simulation that came out of a project work from the students, the PhD students and the master students. They just wanted to change the perception of it's a town, Onitsha.
Yeah.
When we talk about Onitsha, we talk about commerce,
business,
commerce and business. But we want to change that narrative, and we felt that we needed an aggregator.
Yeah.
To do that, and the marathon is a global, aggregator. When you talk about New York Marathon, Dubai, it's something that brings out everybody. Everybody is part of it.
Yeah.
Mother, child, families, organization. So we felt we needed an aggregator, and the marathon was that.
Okay.
And apart from the Onitsha City Marathon, it has brought up a lot of things. Stirred up that awareness that sports is something that can be looked into, that will add value to the world globally, to Onitsha and even Nigeria and Africa itself.
Yeah.
Which is still lacking behind in terms of those areas.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's a very good initiative, because most of the marathons I know I've come across and I've witnessed in Nigeria, most of them happen in the southwest, Lagos to be precise. So is this the first of its kind in southeast Nigeria?
Yes, the first international marathon. Others have come and gone, but they were not internationally,
recognized.
Recognized by the world governing marathon.
Yeah.
This was the first one. We've had other ones, but those ones were not recognized globally. But we are the first certified and globally recognized marathon in the southeast.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. But when we say you sound so passionate about sports entrepreneurship, so what is actually sports entrepreneurship, and who is a sports entrepreneur?
Now, basically, when we look at the word sports entrepreneurship, maybe a lot of people think it's something very big.
Yeah.
It's the act of using sports to add value to the world. That's my own definition.
Yeah.
Using sports to add value to the world, just like maybe business. People using business to add value to the world, because anything that is not adding, things must add value.
Yeah.
So that is my own definition of sports entrepreneurship, layman's definition.
Yeah.
Sports adding value, put social and economic and political, everything coming together.
Yeah.
Adding that value.
Yeah.
Because sports is not just about maybe exercise.
Yeah.
There's so many aspects. So when all those things come in, the social part, the economic part, the political, and other things, when it comes together, that is sports entrepreneurship.
Okay. So it's all about adding value then?
Yes.
Okay, fair. So if it's all about adding value, so I guess a sports entrepreneur is somebody who adds value to his community, to the world at large, using sports.
Yes, That is.
So can
So
this? Yeah, sorry. Continue.
My definition, I wanted to bring out a definition that would be very easy to understand.
Okay.
It's adding value. It's about adding value to your community, to your environment, to the society, using sports. And when you are adding that value, things come in. The economic part comes in.
Yeah.
Even the physical, value to yourself, the political part, social, economic, every other thing has to come into place.
Yeah.
And when you aggregate those things, that's what you get as sports entrepreneurship.
Fair. But these sports entrepreneurs, are they made or born? Or can it be taught in a university? What do you think?
Obviously, the world has moved through. Remember, we have gotten through a lot of industrial eras. First industrial era, where maybe we're using hands, using our hands before we go to the second industrial era. So this evolution can just be likened to sports entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
So when you say made or born, in the past it was based on maybe you were born with it. You know what I mean? Maybe somebody. Let me use an athlete. He has those skills.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to. But now, there's been integration between being made and being born with it, because you can have that talent, you can have those skills, you can have that knowledge. If you don't bring in the other factors that will maybe maximize that potential, then for me, it's not going to work. Check what is happening. In those days, you see players, some players, let me use football. I like using footballers because soccer is I think, in as much as I shouldn't be biased, I'm much more, pro towards soccer.
Yeah.
Those times, you see, like George Best.
Yeah.
Someone like George Best, if he was in this era, with all his truancy, at times he won't train, he will flop. So it's gone beyond talent. Yeah. It's now about how you
apply yourself as well. Yeah.
Apply yourself, have a team, and at the end of the day, you get value.
Yeah.
A lot of athletes that have potentials. Let me use an example. Neymar should have been World Footballer of the Year.
Yeah.
But maybe certain things didn't come into play.
Yeah.
And now his era is past.
It's gone. Yeah.
It's gone.
What do you think is just unlucky to be born in the era where Ronaldo and Messi were the top players? Because I don't think anybody could usurp those two anyway.
No, it's not about. There's a certain point.
Yeah.
Neymar was on top.
Yeah, true.
In that period, he moved between Barcelona and PSG. But certain factors came into play. When he got to PSG, he stopped training. He became a king. In Barcelona, he had some guys. Suarez was there. Messi were there for him to look up to. When he got to PSG, he felt, I am the king.
Yeah.
And he relaxed. That's the key word.
It happened.
Relaxed.
Yeah.
Yes. And before he knew, he opened his eyes. It was gone. It's gone.
Yeah.
Inside him.
Yeah.
So, and that is the other day I heard Haaland, the Manchester City guy.
Haaland, yeah.
He said something that he loves this guy. Rebuking him. Pep is always shouting at him, and he loves it. It makes him a better player.
Yeah.
You can see how people view criticism and rebuke.
Yeah.
Someone will view it as is an opportunity for you to be better. Someone will view it as, do you know who I am?
Yeah.
I'm the top shot.
Yeah.
That's all. And when you look at Messi and Ronaldo, forget about talent. The amount of work these guys put in to be on top.
True.
It's a whole, it's tremendous. They don't sleep. Ronaldo has a strict diet. He doesn't eat anything. He doesn't drink anything. He trains.
Yeah.
His colleagues in Man United said the worst thing you can be is with him, because at every point, if midnight he's training, he's practicing.
Yeah.
His diet is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can see that's my initial definition.
Yeah.
In the past, you just had to have the talent. Talent like George Best, and just don't train, come to the field. Don't even train, come to the match and something happens. But these days, if you try it, it'll take you out.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair. So now you believe sports entrepreneurs are actually made, not just, but you need to have the talent, but you also need to put in the work as well.
You need to put in the work, but when you do an analysis, statistical analysis, I think in the past, talent was more.
Yeah.
Based on the world. The world wasn't global and all those things. But
Okay.
now,
Okay, but what about those who are not in sport? Actually, like they are not athletes, and they are maybe like in business schools. Do you think they can be taught sports management, sports entrepreneurship instead, without having any experience, like as a footballer or basketballer? Like, do you think they can be taught in the classroom about sports entrepreneurship?
they are even doing better because they
Really?
are coming from no expectations.
Yeah.
They are coming from a point of no expectations.
Yeah.
The athletes are coming from a lot of expectations. Look at, let's use like Ruud Gullit. He didn't do so well as a coach.
Yeah.
Because there were so much expectations. Look at Frank Lampard.
Yeah.
But these guys are coming from. Look at this this Nagelsmann. They are coming from a situation whereby nobody is expecting anything. They are just there. They just study, and so for me, you have to marry the two. But those guys are coming.
Yeah.
And with all these automations, they are taking over the world of sports.
Fair.
That's what I mean. They are taking over the world of sport because they don't have any expectation and they are more focused.
Yeah.
They are coming into this business as a business.
True.
The athlete is coming in as this is my part time. I've been there.
This
Are coming we have to get this thing, and we're going to get it, and no matter we'll get it, and that is bringing out sports education is now more pronounced, unlike in the past. Schools, a lot of universities, they are bringing in a lot of things, and it's expanding. Some years ago, let's say 10, the gaming industry, the betting industry was just, sports betting industry was just minimal.
Yeah,
but now
it's everywhere. Yeah,
it's everywhere. I'm in the States now, US. The other day I met there are new fans coming up, new prospects. People are coming into those industries. So for me, it's about understanding the industry, massiveness of the industry, and utilizing that potential. And the truth is that it's an industry that will continue expanding.
Till we die.
Yes.
To be honest,
yes, because every day there are new frontiers. Look at Ronaldo going to Asia. Look at the statistics coming from there. Messi is in America. A whole new industry.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if the MSL continues like this, I am predicting he's going to rival American football in terms of fanship, in terms of everything.
Yeah.
The Messi tickets
are American football. So you mean NFL?
Yes.
Okay.
Rival it.
Yeah.
Because they are used to that, American football. But this is a whole new thing for them.
Yeah.
And when something is new, everybody is enthusiastic.
Yeah.
So for me, it's coming. And this Messi and Ronaldo rivalry has taken it to another era. This is another era. No more Europe. Let's go to another continent.
And
it's a new story.
Yeah.
It's a new story coming up.
Sure.
So we should also study these two guys. They are serious-minded businessmen.
True.
Not coming here to come and joke and whatever. Come and play.
I agree with
businessmen.
There's something you said now that I find so catchy. That sports is a business, and in 2020 the global sports market was estimated to be worth roughly about $388 billion, and they're actually estimating now that by 2025 it's going to be up to 600 billion, and then by 2030 it's going to be $826 billion. Imagine. Are there could you list some of the sports related businesses that you think can thrive in because you're saying in Africa they don't know this big? Are there some sports related business you think can thrive in Africa at this point to be part of this market?
First of all, Africa has only
5.
0.05 of Africa has only 0.5% of the global sports market.
Which is poor.
It's very, very poor.
Yeah.
So for me, it's non-existent. Forget that some countries like South Africa, then the Arabs, but as a business, it's not existing.
Yeah.
And when you talk about business, before you talk about that, you have to talk about policies.
Yeah.
How do Africans, how do you and me, when we're in Africa, view sports? That's the question. What will be the recreational activity?
Yeah. Just to meet up.
Just to meet up. Just come meet up.
Yeah.
But when we start seeing it as another way of empowering, the populace, socio-economic empowerment, we now have a different perception. And that is, for me, the game changer.
True.
It's untapped.
Yeah.
It's not existing. Other ones can expand. Europe, the expansion rate may be, 5%, But if Africa wakes up, that percentage can go up to 20-30% yearly, based on what we have on ground.
Yeah.
So it has to be a clear policy thing. It has to be.
It has to be policy driven. I agree.
Policy driven.
Yeah.
That will have value chains. You know what I mean? Value chains, and then we understand that look, this industry is an industry that will help us. We're talking about migration now. Everybody is leaving Africa.
Yeah.
When if there's a way, there's something they will say, okay, you open your eyes and close, and you're in Europe. Everybody, you have to sell a whole state today. Everybody will sell the states.
Yeah.
But with sports, you can see that you can be kings. You can be kings. Because already naturally, God has endowed the Africans with strength. You know, Simon, we have all those things. Check Africans that are in the diaspora in sports. With minimal effort,
they are doing well for themselves. Yeah.
But assuming now you have the enabling environment, the right structures, the right policies, you see that after some time, we are not going to be going to Europe to come and
to play. Yeah.
They will come in here.
Yeah, because you have a point, because I just thought about something now. If you notice, South American players, Argentines, Brazilians, they leave the comfort of their homes to go to Europe and conquer Europe because maybe they're coming from the favela. Some people don't have money. But if you notice, most of the time, they end up going back to retire there, no matter what happens.
Yes.
They still have that passion for Boca Juniors, for Estudiantes, for all these South American. The passion is even more than, like, but you don't see African players going back to say, okay, I want to retire at Rangers or at Bendel Insurance or something like that. The passion is not there.
Why?
Yeah, why?
There's nothing to retire to.
There's
no structure.
Yeah.
There's nothing. What are you going to look at the other day? Let's use Enyimba. The judge was there, with all his coaching certificate. He won the league. And they just came, and just the next thing they said, they said him to step down, and he came up. There's no contract, no structure.
Yeah.
And for me, the biggest harm to sports development in Africa is government interference.
I was about to ask that question.
That is the biggest harm.
Yeah.
Government is just move out.
Yeah.
Create the enabling environment. But as far as all those things, people are there. They take it as part their retirement benefit, or they take it as if it's something they're going to be rewarded to based on friendship or whatever.
Yeah.
They can't go far.
True.
True. And recently, look at Nigeria. We have a sports policy that was brought out last year, but we're not even talking about it. We're still talking about look at let's take football. Football is the biggest industry in Nigeria in quotes. We're still talking about funding.
Yeah.
It's a shame. We're still talking about funding when we have a money spinning something in our hands. We're talking about funding. They're waiting for government funding. They don't need funding. They should pass it as a law. No funding. Let's start with football. No funding. If you cannot have the brain to manage it, step down.
Yeah.
That's for me.
Yeah, but
just one small policy alone. You are looking for funding. You have footballers doing transfers. If you put it as a law in Nigeria, for every transfer involving a Nigerian, even if you 0.000%, not up to 1% or whatever transfer fee alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is all.
Yeah.
You pass it as a law.
Yeah.
Once they say, all you need to do is that searching for who has Nigerian blood or whatever anywhere. Wherever they transfer, you say, that's the law. You understand me?
Yeah.
And you get funding.
Yeah. Yeah,
There's so many aspects.
Yeah, but but the thing is, it's good. I like the way you think, but like you said, I don't think they think along these lines, to be honest, because there are so many ways to actually get that money they are looking for, to be honest.
There are so many ways. There are more than 50 ways to make money in sports.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah.
This is just the smallest, easiest part.
Yeah.
So many ways. But we tend to, Africans have that beggarly attitude, give me.
Yeah.
Give me. We should come beyond and start giving.
Yeah.
Start giving. So when you have that mentality of you see that you in every situation there are opportunities. Our eyes are not open, you know. We are still fixed on with the grant we get from FIFA.
Yeah.
This one we get from this. The one you.
How much can I make from these guys? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But that takes me to my next question, because you mentioned for sports entrepreneurship to thrive in Nigeria and Africa, the government has to be removed. Their involvement has to be minimized. It's not removed per se. Just create the policy.
Minimized.
Yeah. Yes. So, but are there other stakeholders that you think are required to drive this particular change?
Now, because of the way the political structure, we're not talking to talk about politics in sports.
Yeah.
The government still plays a very, very major role.
Yeah.
Based on policies, based on structures.
Yeah.
Like I told you, if we experiment with football, we say, okay, no government fund. If you cannot run it, you see that people will start thinking. So other stakeholders are there, but because of that, they cannot come in. They come in. Example, let me give you one small example.
Yeah.
Our football league, the MPFL, we don't have a football calendar. Ordinarily, you should have like a 5-year. Premiership, they have 5-year calendar when all those things. 5 years back, they have it already.
Yeah.
But in Africa, somebody will wake up one morning
and say, in next 3 months, you start.
No. Next 3 months, apart from that, somebody will wake up one morning. You say in next 3 months. Apart from that, you will quarrel with the wife. Maybe you're supposed to go and he say no, we are cancelling matches. That bill. I had a situation. There was 2 years ago or last year or so. There was a match I was supposed to watch. Rangers and Remo Stars.
Yeah.
I went everything, even on. I was seeing it there. I got to the stadium. They just said they cancelled. They just shifted the match. That's money.
Wow.
You understand? That's money. I got.
No prior announcement to the people who got the
So that just summarizes it.
Yeah.
So somebody just no prior announcement. They just shifted it for that money. So what I'm saying is just it's a serious business.
Yeah.
And the planning, there's so much. It's not just the event. What goes into before all those things are massive. You have to have policies, structures. It's a project.
I agree with you.
So when you aggregate all those things, you get results. But before then, we have to look at a soul searching. Where are we? Where do we want to be?
Yeah.
If we don't do that, we'll still be doing the same thing over and over and expect different results. It's madness. That's madness.
Fair. But you mentioned a lot of people don't know how important this sports entrepreneurship is. So, what role do you think sports entrepreneurship can play in national development? Okay, in Nigeria, national development, Africa at large as a continent. Do you think sports entrepreneurship can be used to solve social problems at large?
Obviously, when we talk about social problems, you have to look at the root cause. What are the root causes of social problems? Economic aspect. There's the economic part. There's the social economic part. Then before you get to political, all those things are linked to sports entrepreneurship. One, when you talk about economy, if the opportunities in the sports industry, a lot of our youths now we're talking about unemployment. The rate is so high.
Yeah.
Close to over 30-40%. No, Nigerian statistics. There is the real one and the one that the real one. So there's the real one. So when you look at it, you see that example now. I might decide, okay, I want to be a sports entrepreneur. I go to school, come out, the enabling environment, there are places to understudy. But look, sports in Nigeria is like a cartel. That's the truth.
True. I tried to be a professional footballer myself, so I can tell you, like, a coach can come up today and say, the person knows you're a good player, but because the other player is the son of one friend, my brother, you don't play anything. That's the end for you. Yeah.
So, if example, maybe you have the enabling environment whereby you can just come in and just like here. Participating in sports is natural,
Yeah.
You see that everybody, you see that it's a career. From there, by the time, and if you do so well, is an exchange driver. He's a forex driver. see all these guys. You talk about Osimhen. Their contracts are massive.
Yeah.
Somebody is earning like $6 million or whatever a year. You times it, just the salary alone, times it by the exchange rate, and that money enters the economy. It shakes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It will shake. $6 million landing will shake whatever small sector.
Yeah.
And you have like 1,000 people doing average of maybe $1 million. Is it going to have an impact on the economy?
When it comes to sports entrepreneurship, the thing is how it can actually invite a lot of investors. Companies can come in and invest and even make the different. Okay, for example, let's use the UK. You realize like once a particular city, a club in a particular city gets into the Premier League, it opens that particular city.
Already, it opens that city now.
I'm telling you, it will shock you.
A lot of things.
Tourists will come in, hotels, everything will start booming.
Hotels,
booming,
everything. Use that one.
Yeah.
Why I use that one as per earnings was the layman understanding.
Yeah.
Before you go to the technical part, let's talk about the layman, the one they understand.
Yeah.
The salary. There's so much. The value chain is spread so much. It's not just something you look at, it's so much. And we're talking about economy. Economy is just the finances. There's a qualitative and a quantitative. Quantitative can be the one you see. Qualitative, the way it affects, people are happy. Saturday is now, the Premiership is on. The crime rate is low. Crime rate is low.
But if the club loses, what happens then?
Yeah, they drink to stop and stuff. But what I mean.
Yeah.
Check it, even in Africa. Once there are tournaments, maybe Nigeria is playing a match, the armed robbers on break. Everybody, crime is minimal.
True. You have a point here.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, even the quantitative, you have the qualitative part, which in cost benefit analysis. By the time you add that one, you see that it's going to do a lot.
Yeah.
Economy is just the money coming in.
Yeah.
How? How the living situation, the standard of life, the quality of life. You understand me?
Yeah.
So it has a lot.
But thinking about it, like I know we've mentioned the salary, all these things, but one of the problems of businesses in Nigeria is sustainability. Yeah. So imagine these sports and entrepreneurship businesses are set up. How do you think they can be sustained?
First of all, when we talk about sustainability, we talk about what is the basic business capital. In Nigeria, most businesses are run like one-man business. Man. Me, myself and my family and my children, my great-grandchildren.
Yeah.
But, when you talk about maybe sustainability or sports, you have to talk about the long run. Some of the policies you set up now might not even start working now. It might start working in 20 years.
True.
You understand me? But already you put in those things, those mechanisms.
Yeah.
Sure. So the first step is have a analysis. Where are we? Do a SWOT. Strength, weakness, opportunity, strength. Look at where we are. Sincerely. I use the word sincerely because in Africa, in Nigeria, Africa, we don't have sincerity. Somebody is putting a policy. Maybe the best place to locate this stadium is location A. He says my village. If I put it in my village, he goes to put it in his village. Nothing happens there. That facility dies.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is so. We have to look at all those things. Then come out, bring in stakeholders. The stakeholders are so many. Bring in all the stakeholders. Have something like a no bars sports maybe submit whereby where are we moving?
Yeah.
Whatever the ideas are brought up, implementation. Africans are good in bringing ideas. They'll tell you this to implement it.
Yeah.
Somebody gets annoyed. You say, okay, I swap this policy. That is gone. So it's just about, and the bad thing is that over the years it's going down and down and down and down. When you compare to the growth, you understand me? It's going down.
Yeah.
It's going down.
And it's worrisome, to be honest. Yeah.
It's worrisome. And these are all the things that are contributing to the poor social economic situation. Because when those industries are working, maybe the sports industry is working, you see that some of those maybe agitations will reduce. People will have alternatives. People will have maybe I can go into this industry, and it's an industry you can do. that okay, if you are nobody, it can make you somebody.
Yeah.
Check all those great players. All of them were born from Pele, even Ronaldo.
All of them, yeah. Most
Messi,
of them. Now, let's not say all, yeah. Most of them.
Yes. So that is a game changer. It's something that will help to balance economic imbalance.
There was something that happened a while ago, 2014, if I remember. So I went back because I was born and raised in Enugu. I went back and I tried as much as possible to to move the change and change the way sports is seen in Enugu, at least precisely via Rangers and all. And I was trying to explain to them that through Rangers, we can actually create a lot of jobs. Doctors can get jobs. Sports and therapists can get jobs. Caterers can get jobs. People who are selling in restaurants can get, a lot of people can get jobs. Physiotherapists. But no, everything I said landed on deaf ears. But it was an avenue. I created a PowerPoint to explain how we can actually use this to create a lot of jobs in the state. A lot. But now, assuming somebody wants to own a club like Rangers Football Club, let's say, because that's one part of sports entrepreneurship, and take it away from the control of the government. And like Ferguson once say something that rings in my ear all the time. He once say that if you are a billionaire and you want to become a millionaire, buy a football club. And so that means he's actually inadvertently saying that it costs a lot to run a football club per se. So what do you think? Do you think if this, for example, Nigerian football clubs are taken away from the government, from the control of the government, and given to private firms and private individuals, how do you think they will fare? Do you think they will find it cost effective, or what do you think is going to happen?
For me,
yeah,
it's only a madman that will do the same thing over. We need the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
So for me, when you take it away, let's use example telecoms.
Yeah.
Did anybody believe 30 years ago that telecoms in Nigeria, forget about what was happening global,
yeah,
could be this easy? Remember when those years when you want to make call, you go to somewhere night, line up for years.
Yeah.
But took one government policy.
Yeah.
Man said, okay, let's unbundle this.
That's true. That's true.
And immediately they opened it, no holds barred. You know, the change affected the government-owned telecom district because they could not compete.
Yeah.
So if
I don't think there's anything like that anymore. Yeah, you have
there's none now.
Yeah.
They couldn't compete.
Yeah.
If they can do 100%, release it 100%, yes, the challenges will be so much. Check what is happening. Even look at universities. They have their own soccer league. It's self-funding.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
They're doing what? They're not asking for government. Government is not bringing it. They have their own. Check out other leagues. Even in Lagos, some places they have their own leagues, and those things are thriving. So you can imagine. Some years ago, Mountain on Fire came up as a private district. They were doing well.
Yeah.
MFM. You understand me? It's possible, but because the problem is that the government ones will stifle them. Maybe example, you now say, okay, for you to come in, these are the requirements. The government own will just, bring in all those things, not follow the rules.
Yeah.
And they say, okay, at the last minute, they say we have to register them. They allow them to go. But when you have, look at how the premiership started in 92. Did you believe that it would be this massive?
Yeah.
It came as a joke.
Yeah.
It came as a joke.
Yeah.
England was down in every realm, in soccer, everything. It came in as of 92. The English club, were they doing that well? They were not.
Yeah.
But it came in as a joke. It came in before you know it. Everybody was captivated, the whole world.
Yeah.
But they had to let go of that they had. That they had then was turned towards only England and Europe.
Yeah.
But when they let go, it became a global market. Asia was unbundled. North America was unbundled. South America, even Africa.
Everybody. Because
Africa was unbundled.
Because I think that was the time they created the doors to actually now invite foreign coaches, foreign players. Everybody.
Yes.
Yeah, you have a point. Yeah.
So we have to let go. Like if you don't leave what you have, you can't get another one. Let us let it go 100%.
Yeah.
The first few years will be very inconveniencing.
Yeah.
But once you get it right, it's a moving train. Because nobody will put his money in a business and want to start talking stories. No.
Yeah.
You have to let go. Look at government clubs. They just appoint somebody who's not there. He's just there. You know, every lot of things. Ways money will come in nowhere. I told you how they canceled the match that day. If the man was a businessman, would he cancel the match on that day?
That's not possible.
Yeah. It's not.
Yeah.
Because even it's not just the match we are talking about. The things that go on. You know, the pundits, the predictions, the betting, a lot of value chain go on before the match itself is just, for me, 10% or 5% of the value chain.
Yeah.
The whole value chain is much more. The event, if you check, there's the sportswear side, you know, the equipment part, there's the betting, gambling side, there's, you know, a lot of things, the health and wellness side. So all those things have to come in. But we are still looking at the event itself. And when you are looking at the event, there's not much, you know, economic resources from the event. It's the value chains that surround those events that make it what it is. That's my own opinion.
Okay. But thinking about it, I've been trying to rack my brain here. Is there any Nigerian athlete, footballer, runner in athletics, any that has gone on to become a very successful entrepreneur? I'm just curious now. Do you know any?
I have one. Yusuf Ali, the face of marathon in Africa, Nigeria.
Oh, really? Okay. Ali. Okay. I'll look him up. Yeah.
Yeah, Yusuf Ali, former long jump champion.
Yeah.
Now the general manager of Lagos City Marathon.
Yeah.
Access Lagos Marathon. He's the GM.
Okay.
And they have a franchise. They have that franchise. They have in 2015 when they started the Lagos Access Marathon, it was like a joke. Now it's a money spinning event. They are a platinum label brand now.
Yeah.
It shows that once you focus, plan, no government involvement, you just started something, marathon, and now a lot of marathons are coming up everywhere.
Yeah.
So that is an example. He's the face of marathon in Yusufa. He's now the commissioner of sports in those states.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Yes, he's commissioner of sports in those states. But what I'm saying, his vision is just let people run.
Yeah.
And for me, if we maintain that same, if we look at that template and study, you see that it's private driven.
Yeah.
There's no government only just to enable and partner and get value. Government is getting value because since they started that Lagos Access Marathon, the spotlight on Lagos and Access Bank's, you know, value chain has been so much. Now since then they have been expanding. You know, when you talk about Access Bank, Lagos Access Marathon comes up. So it's an example that it can work, even if a tough, very, very hard terrain like Nigeria, it's possible.
Yeah.
So that is one example.
Interesting. I just looked him up now. Yusuf Ali, he won gold at 1988 and 89 African Championships, 1990 Commonwealth Games. Oh, okay. Yes. Oh, nice. That's really, really nice. But because of time, I'm going to ask you one final question. I want you to think about it. So, assuming you had students right now, young Nigerian students who are so keen on sports entrepreneurship and management, and they come to you and ask you, "Oh, Dr. Osondu, what are the 5 essential tips that they need to open their own sports companies in Nigeria?" What would you tell them?
No, I think without knowledge, you know, even the Bible says it that the beginning of wisdom is first of all we have to have the knowledge. Knowledge is power.
Yeah.
Forget about a lot of people say sport money. No, money is not it. It's an idea.
Yeah.
The biggest mistake we make is that thinking that money will no. It's not about money. You can have $1 billion. If you don't have the right policies, the right procedures, the right things, you fail. So I think first of all is knowledge.
Yeah.
We should have knowledge on what a sports entrepreneur is.
Yeah.
Then we should have the sports entrepreneur mindset.
Yeah.
Let me explain. When you talk about sports entrepreneur mindset, that means you understand that this is a career and a business you are going into.
Yeah.
And it's not just something that may or might work. It's something that must work. And most times when people talk about going into a career, they think it's about participating. No. There are so many aspects. There is the business aspect. There is the gaming aspect. Some years ago, nobody believed about sports betting. Now it's a major industry.
Big one.
Major empowerment program.
Yeah.
That is one thing that keeps. I'm not in as much as I don't, maybe based on beliefs or whatever. But if that's something that keeps everybody busy weekends,
Yeah.
as low as 100 naira, people have, it's a way of, I have my own beliefs on it, but in a country like Nigeria that needs some things to change things, invincible force. That's one of the invincible forces happening in Nigeria.
Yeah.
You see people as low as 100 naira, they just win $1 million. It keeps them happy.
Yeah.
So the mindset, that is true. Then mentorship, very important. We talk about mentors.
Yeah.
Most of these people have mentors, and the advanced society have embedded mentorship in the way they do things through their systems. When we talk about mentorship, we might look at maybe individual. We're talking about a system being a mentor.
Yeah.
I hope you understand what I'm saying. A system being a mentor. Here in advanced countries, there's a system meant to everybody.
Yeah.
Whereby you say, okay, I want to do this. You say, okay, you're in high school. Immediately go to the basketball this immediately. Then we have to have the right structures and things. I've talked about one, knowledge. I've talked about mindset. I've talked about mentorship. We have to have the right structures. As a young person, what are your structures?
Yeah.
You have to build the right structures. Who are you aligning to? You want to be a sports entrepreneur. It's not going to be by magic. What are the links? What are the contacts? You know what I mean? Who are the people? And in this my 5 keys, I'm not even talking about money.
Yeah.
Even the Bible says, seek ye the kingdom of God and his righteousness first, and then all other things shall be done what?
Added onto it, yeah.
So the money is just the other things, if you do the right things. Then finally, you have to also develop yourself in terms of, development of yourself. You don't want to be a sports entrepreneur, you just say, no, you have to develop yourself, self-development. So that is my 5 keys. When you get all these things right, whatever industry you are, the other things will come.
Yeah.
That is my own personal thing.
Yeah. I agree with you. For you to be able to carry out any event, you need knowledge first. You need to know what you are getting into. And also, finally, like you said, personal development. Because for you to be an entrepreneur, you have to develop yourself to be a particular way to actually thrive as an entrepreneur. I agree, especially in places like Nigeria and Africa, where policies are a problem. You have a
somersault policies.
Somersault.
One policy, tomorrow another one. Another person comes in
and they change everything.
It changes everything. No. So, and for me, when you have an aggregation of sports entrepreneurs, they can force the hand of government. True. They can force it. This is my own personal belief. When you have, assuming you have 1,000 sports entrepreneurs, you understand me?
Yeah.
Let me use example. Look at forex trading.
Yeah.
Crypto. Before then, the government was, these things will not work, banned. But when people came in together, worked as a team, the government had to start reviewing the policies, crypto policies. You understand me? So people come, it starts from maybe even primary school, secondary school, start education on sports entrepreneurship, from there, because the easiest way you can get talent, if you're looking from the talent point of view, is from that primary school. Yeah,
just like NCAA that happens in America. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So, do we have a sports policy? We don't have those things. So it's not about money. You can bring in $1 million and pump into schools. If they don't have the policies, those equipments, everything will rot. We had the case of maybe, look at what happened during during COVID. We didn't know we had the COVID equipment in Anambra State. The former governor had invested, brought in those equipments, kept it. Nobody knew what it was.
Wow.
You understand me?
Yeah.
You heard about it now. It was rotten.
Yeah.
But when you have the right policy, if this thing happens, this is the next thing. If there are exceptions, you have all those things put in. And over time you review it, align it to the current trend. You see that you're going. So it's not just about money. But when you ask somebody and I say bring in money, no, it's not about money.
Yeah, everything is about money. Yeah.
Planning, coordination. Once you get those things right, naturally, the direct economic impact, which is money, what we are seeing will come in naturally.
Yeah.
But any other thing, those things will be forced. After some time, it fails.
Yeah.
So that is my own my own personal observation.
Yeah, nice. But yeah, I agree with you. Sports entrepreneurship, a lot of things need to change in Africa for sports entrepreneurship to thrive, especially in terms of policy and all. But because of time, thank you so much. It's been a lovely, lovely chat with you, Dr. Osondu.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so
No,
much for honoring the invitation.
yes, it's my pleasure, and I hope I've added value.
Yeah, of course you have. Of course you have. It's given me a lot to think, and I'm sure other people listening, you've given them a lot to think about as well when it comes to sport entrepreneurship in Africa. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, and hopefully we do this some.